thank you for participating in the ODNR Division of Forestry and Ohio Department of Agriculture Asian Longhorn Beetle Canopy Restoration Pilot Program. This volunteer program begins planting trees to recover the tree canopy lost from eradication. Trees and the shade they provide offer many socioeconomic benefits to your community. When choosing a site, be sure you know the tree's mature height and width. Choose a place to plant your tree so that as it grows, it will not interfere with a structure, walkway, street, or overhead utility lines. Proper selection and placement of trees can prevent public safety hazards and improve the appearance of the landscape. Match available tree species to your planting site and personal preferences. This program's website will have resources available to research your desired tree species, or you can contact your ODNR urban forester for assistance. Before you plant, make sure you're aware of the locations of any underground utilities. To be certain you don't accidentally dig into any lines and risk serious injury or costly interruption, call the Ohio Utilities Protection Service toll-free at 1-800-362-2764 to learn the locations of underground service on your property. Plant your tree immediately after receiving it. If the tree cannot be planted immediately, keep the tree in a protected holding area. Mulch the root ball and water daily until the tree can be planted in the ground. This will improve the tree's chances of survival. Once you apply for your tree, you will be notified of the local pickup site and date. The trees will be approximately 1 1/4 inch to 1 1/2 inch in diameter and 8 feet to 10 feet tall, depending on the various tree species available, and will be balled and burlapped or in a container. Make sure when you pick up your tree that your vehicle is able to accommodate the tree size and number of trees. When lifting a tree, you'll want to handle it by the container or by the root area, not by the trunk. Bring rope to secure the tree during transport and a tarp to cover the canopy of the tree during transport to protect it from damage. Before you can begin planting your tree, you'll need to gather your tools and supplies. These include a good shovel, wire cutters, a sharp cutting tool or saw, pruners, composted organic material, mulch or wood chips, watering needs such as a hose and tree gator, a tape measure, rubber mallet, mattock, gloves, and a trash bag. Now that you've collected all your tools, prune off any dead or broken branches. You should never prune the top of a newly planted tree. When buried too deeply, tree roots decline in health and condition. Poor root health results in reduced growth rate, increased plant mortality, increased disease susceptibility, and reduced cold hardiness. Sometimes, trees show signs of stress within the first year of planting, but it usually takes several years for the problem to rear its ugly head. The part of a plant where the stem and root system meet is called the root collar, which has a flare where it transitions between the stem wood and the roots. For tree roots to grow vigorously, they require water and oxygen. Water and most importantly oxygen are most abundant at the surface of the soil, and most of a tree's root system is within 6 to 8 inches of the surface. If you can't see the trunk flare, locate it by removing twine, burlap, and excess soil. Measure the distance between the trunk flare and the bottom of the root ball. This will be the depth of your planting hole. Dig your tree hole at least 2 times wider than the root ball with sloping sides. Dig your hole to a depth so that the located trunk flare at the first order lateral root will be at finished grade. First, create a firm soil mound at the bottom of the planting hole. Remove the tree from the container and with a sharp saw, shave off the entire outer 1 inch of the root ball. Place the tree in the hole so that the trunk flare is at finished grade and the tree is straight. With clean, sharp pruning tools, prune off any adventitious, girdling, and potentially girdling roots. Backfill the hole with existing soil and firmly pack it to eliminate air pockets that may cause the roots to dry out. Then, thoroughly water it. Mulch the entire planting surface with composted bark applied no less than 2 inches deep and no more than 3 inches deep, leaving 3 inches adjacent to the trunk free of mulch to keep the soil moist and help control weeds. Lifting only from the bottom of the root ball, position the tree on a firm pad so that it is straight and the top of the trunk flare is level with the surrounding soil. Remove all twine from the root ball. If present, remove and discard at least the top 1/2 of the wire basket. Burlap should be removed from the top to a point halfway down the root ball and discarded. Ideally, all burlap and wire baskets should be removed from the root ball. With clean, sharp pruning tools, prune off any secondary, adventitious, girdling, and potentially girdling roots. Backfill the hole with existing soil and firmly pack it to eliminate air pockets that may cause the roots to dry out. Then, thoroughly water it. Mulch the entire planting surface with composted bark applied no less than 2 inches deep and no more than 3 inches deep, leaving 3 inches adjacent to the tree trunk free of mulch to keep the soil moist and help control weeds. Do not stake or fertilize your tree. Avoid injuring your tree with a lawnmower or other maintenance equipment. Damaged bark could provide an entry for disease that can lead to premature death of the tree. Watering your tree is the most important thing you can do after planting. Water your new tree weekly from spring to fall for at least 2 seasons, and then during dry periods. And finally, protect your tree from wildlife. If you have questions on how to successfully plant your ALB pilot replanting tree, please contact your local Ohio Department of Natural Resources urban forester.